So you thinking about using leads in your life insurance business, and you know what? That may be a good idea, maybe a good fit for you. Understand you're gonna have to make a few more calls than when you're doing a warm market on social media to be able to get in contact with those people, because you gotta understand leads are not sales. So for somebody to do business with you, they have to know, like, and trust you. With a lead, that person doesn't know you. They probably don't like you because they don't know you, but they may trust you a little bit because you're pointing out a problem that they have. So they want to learn a little bit more about it in some cases. Now, you give them too much information, like when you're texting a person, or give them too much information before you get on the phone, they may not ever really talk to you because they'll make an assumption about what it is you have to offer. So there's a fine line and a little delicate balance in terms of what it is you're doing when you're talking to the leads to be able to really get them and convert them. Now, understand with the lead, generally you're going to talk to them once. So you want to go from not knowing them to, in an hour, be able to walk that person through a process where, as though you're going to get their driver's license, you're going to get their social security number, you're going to get their banking information, you're going to get them to answer questions about their personal history, their height and weight, so that way you can submit the application to see if that person is approved. It's not as difficult as it seems. You just have to be able to have that conversation. But before you have the conversation, you have to connect with the person. So this way you can move the process along. And one of the best ways of doing that is asking questions. So now, in the beginning, in order to really connect with the person, one of the first things you want to do is you want to reach out. When you reach out to the person, you get the person on the phone, is you want to say their first name. You don't want to say, hello, Mrs., hello, Mr., can I speak to, is this person available? Because then you sound like a telemarketer. Their defense is going to be up. What do you want? You're trying to sell me something. I have no interest in buying it. What you want to do is you want to give them, a conscious interrupt, meaning like a conscious interrupt would be you reach out to shake somebody's hand and they shake your elbow. You're like, whoa, what's going on here? But now you're thinking about what it is they're doing. That's what you want to do with the individual when you're actually, when you're talking to them. So that conscious interrupt would be just saying the person's first name, John. And now he's thinking like, okay, you know me, but I don't know you. I don't recognize the voice. Who is this? What do you want? The next, like say 7 to 10 seconds, they're going to be listening to what it is you have to say, because now they're interested in how do you know them. So now you can just say, John, just getting back to you regarding the information you have requested on the plan for to be able to protect your family. Were you looking for a plan for yourself or for someone else? Or let's just say, John, just getting back to you on the information you requested on the plan to be able to take care of the mortgage if for some reason if you got sick and couldn't work. Now, how much do you own your home now? So just things like that, but depending on the type of leads that you have, we can go over that and kind of be able to develop a script just to get that person thinking a little bit differently to engage in the conversation. So again, like with anything in which we do, the beginning, once you actually get through the process, we always say you're going to approach each person in the beginning differently, but then as you start getting to the presentation and taking the application, all the other steps are going to be the same. But in the beginning, how you connect with the person is going to be different. So it's like when you're in a warm market, those people are going to answer the phone, but people that you know a little bit more, you're going to connect with them a little bit different than people that you're not as familiar with. Whereas though you may say something that's a little bit more brazen or bold to the people that you do know. On social media, you're starting to know those people a little bit more, so you may have a little bit more grace, but now you might want to connect with those people a little bit differently than you do in the cold market. So each market's going to have its own unique challenges in terms of being able to connect with the people, but then when you do connect with them, now everything's just going to fall and flow and kind of follow that same process. One thing you want to do, you want to keep in mind with leads is you don't want to give them too much information before you talk to them, because then they'll make an assumption and they'll already think that they know what it is that you have and not really decide to talk to you. So if you can't get in contact with the person, what we suggest is that you send them a text message. Text message just says, John, when is the best time to reach you? Don't go into a lot of explanations. Don't answer any questions. You can answer a question with a question. But if the person replies back, who is this, because they don't recognize the number, just pick up the phone and call them, because you know that they have their phone. But again, you decide you want to get leads, let's sit down and talk about it and then map out a strategy so you can be most effective, and that way you can be the most profitable with the leads that you purchase.